Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wait, where's the camera? So I was doing a tour where you go and you see Blarney Castle and you get behind and you kiss the rock, and I thought that was so cool because I'd always wanted to do that. Not always, but for a long time wanted to go and do that, and then go see some other really cool things in Ireland, some castles and stuff that I always thought was really interesting. And just beautiful and just amazing how long some of these places have been standing and just so incredible. Anyway, on that tour, the tour guide lady, um, on one of the stops, I was talking to her and she was like, "Yeah, the next stop we can go, or you can go, you can get a point." And I was like, "A point? What are you talking about, point? Are we collecting points for something? Is there a competition I don't know about?" And she's like, "No, you can go and get a point." It's like, "A point?" I was like, "I am so sorry. I don't know. I know you're speaking English, but I speak English, but I don't know what you're saying." And she's like, "Yeah, like a pint of beer." And I was like, "Oh, you mean a pint?" I was like, "There's not an O in pint." Ugh. Anyway, that was super fun for me to experience. And actually, on that tour in Dublin, I met a couple people from Wales, and they were so sweet. And one of them reminded me of my super fun, crazy aunt in New Jersey. And we ended up all going out and having dinner that night. It was just a really lovely, blessed time. I went to Windsor Castle, and I saw like where the royal family live in Windsor Castle. I guess they live there. Um, mm. I'm like so not into all that, like Prince whoever, and I don't know. I have no idea anything about all that. So I learned a little bit, but I don't even think it's worth repeating because if you're into it, you're into it. And if you're not, you're like me. You're like, I don't like. I try and care, but I'm like, that's not American like relevancy to me. Like I hate to say it like that. It sounds so like American bubble minded, but I'm just like, whatever. And just to see the chapel inside of Windsor Castle was incredible. Like that was my favorite part within Windsor Castle, truly. And then I went and saw like Stonehenge, which is those old rocks that are really interesting. Oh my gosh, just really crazy to like see all that in person and how big it is and how heavy and how they moved that stuff back in the day without having equipment. Wild. And then I hopped over to Oslo, Norway, which is where this trip all started because I have a friend there that I wanted to visit, and we had such a good time. Oh my goodness, we had so many good like God conversations and just being in nature there. Went to like the big Oslo ski jump thing, which was really interesting and cool. We like took a ferry to like this private island, and it's a very beautiful city, very like hip city, I guess you would say, and rich city because they have oil and just a really the whole Oslo Norwegian feel is very cool and like kind of like chic. It was right up my alley, of course. Then I took a train to the west coast, to Bergen, Norway, and spent some time alone. And just that city was incredible. It's built between the fjords, so on mountains, between like where the water comes in. They call those things fjords, which is like my new favorite word is fjords, Fjords. And it's just all I did was just spend time walking through the neighborhoods and just finding these little like streets and the houses and just seeing how they were built and just taking it in. I mean, like I just get so much out of that. And I really see God's glory in that because he gives people these brains to be able to make something like that, and it just is amazing to me and it's so beautiful and just reflects his glory. So I just spent time really with him, walking around, taking pictures, just going wild. When I first got to Bergen, like that main strip that's really pretty, that's in all the Bergen pictures and everything. Like everyone's just walking around, just all chill. And I'm like, I get there the first day and I'm walking around just with no chill and just like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Like sending my close friends like crazy Instagrams, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Like this is the prettiest place I've ever been in my life. Oh my gosh. And then one day I walked up to this big mountain, which is, I'm forgetting the name of it right now. And you can like look out into the city of Bergen and oh my goodness. I went up to like a nature, like there's a couple ways you can go, and then you can also use like tram thing, which I didn't do. I wanted to walk up. So I walked up using like the greenway or whatever, and then I walked down using like the path that's like a cement path or whatever. But both ways was like really pretty, and going up the greenery way was really pretty, like for the green, the scenery and the trees and the mountains and the rocks and the moss. I kept like feeling the moss. It was very, I was like, this moss is different than the moss I have where I'm from, and it just felt really interesting to me. And then coming down on the pathway, you kind of start walking through like the neighborhoods again, or like the little communities. Just beautiful. I actually walked into like a little art studio and chatted with a local artist, which is really cool. We became friends on Facebook, so hopefully you're watching this. But her art was beautiful and just really bright and colorful. And we kind of talked briefly about travel and stuff, which was really cool. And I just kind of kept going on my merry way, looking around at the city, and so cool. Oh, and then the fish market was interesting because, I don't do the whole fish thing. I do the vegan thing, and oh my goodness, those fish, I just cannot take that smell. Oh my gosh, I just kept walking around being like, oh, the smell is so horrible. Oh my goodness. Like, the smell of fish to me is like, ugh, the worst. But anyway, that was Bergen in a nutshell. Then I jetted over to Copenhagen, Denmark, and that was interesting. It was a really cool city. Like, don't get me wrong, it was really cool. I like how it's like it was old, but like also at different times in history, like the city would just like catch on fire over like random stuff. Like, it was like this building burnt down and then burnt down half the city because some kid did something, or whatever. It was just like, what? Like, I don't know. It was interesting. It's like interesting to learn some of that, but basically the whole city's been like rebuilt over and over in different parts. Um, but it was super pretty, of course. Like just every place in Europe was just unbelievable. Those pretty European streets. Oh my goodness, the cobblestones, these massive buildings. I really got in like a good groove of Copenhagen too, and just would walk and walk and walk and walk and go see everything. The parks were dynamite. You could just walk around and chill and see these like beautiful castles that they had there as well, and just enjoy it and take it in. So finally, I checked out Amsterdam, and that's a city. Oh my goodness! Like visually, it was like the prettiest thing ever with all the canals and the little bridges you walk over, and there's just so much to walk around and see. Um, and then, of course, like I walk out of the train station, and I just like immediately smelled like weed. I was like, oh my gosh, they're like not kidding. I was like, this is wild. Wow. And it was just very interesting and very different from where I'm from because I don't walk around the street and people are just randomly smoking joints. Like, and I'd say like, I don't know, 30 to 50% of the people at times are just walking around smoking a joint. And I'm like, what is going on? This is like public and this is like a city. Like, it was just something. And then, of course, the whole district. I was like, I just feel some type of way about all that. But anyway, that's another topic. But anyway, it was really pretty. Oh, and then of course, I Googled, and as I do in every city, I Google free things to do in insert city, and I found this like cat rescue organization, and they're open very very limited times, and you go and you get a ticket for like a 10 to 15 minute window, and you go in, and it's on a little boat in the canal, in one of the canals, and you go and you can like pet all these rescue cats or whatever, and that was something. It was for all my cat loving friends. You go and you just go and inside and see all the cats, and they're all like, "Meow, adopt me." And you're like, sorry, I live, thousands of miles away. So I guess, that's sort of my trip in a nutshell. Met so many sweet people in Oslo. I went to church with my friend. I forgot to mention that. And oh my gosh, I just loved meeting all of her friends. I loved her church. Oh my gosh, I was just like, that was awesome. That was really awesome. Oddly enough, I got a lot of healing when I was in Oslo. Um, with my friend and some of her friends and going to her church. It was really good, really good. I really, really want to go back. And now it's like, I don't know, 6 in the morning on Saturday, August 31st, and I'm like, my body is 6 hours ahead right now. I woke up at like 4:15. Like, oh boy, it's only 6 hours difference, but still I'm kind of not all all on the same wavelength. So, anywho, I hope you enjoy this video, and I'm probably gonna try and update my little blog soon. So, yeah, take care and God bless. Does this look completely and utterly ridiculous? Probably.